Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do cornbread. Saw this recipe online just recently and figured I definitely want to try it because I'm a big fan of cornbread. And I have some honey-like substance, so it is honey to go on cornbread. Anyway, let's get started. So it's pretty simple. We're going to start with putting the 2 cups of almond flour. This is almond flour, not almond meal. That's important that you get the right stuff. We got most of it in there, so we're good. So 2 cups of that. We got a 1/4 cup. It says golden flaxseed meal. This is just regular flaxseed. I get it from Aldi because Aldi's nice and cheap and the quality's good. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna slap that in there, and then we're gonna put 1/2 teaspoon of salt. It calls for Celtic sea salt, but we're going to use, cheap salt, because I'm a cheap kind of guy. So it says we need to mix this in the food processor. So we're going to go ahead and slap that in and get it mixed up. And then, okay, now that we've got that kind of mixed up a little bit, we're going to add in apple cider vinegar. We've got 2 tablespoons of that, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and we have 5 eggs. That's what's in this Quick Trip cup. Just 5 eggs. And the reason I put them in this cup is because then I can pour them in easily. So we're going to do that, and what we're going to do is we're just going to pulse it just a bit as we're putting it in. Okay, now that we've got that sufficiently mixed up, we're going to need to put this in our cast iron pan, but first we need to grease it up. So I just got a stick of butter here. I'm going to go ahead and grease it up nice. Because who doesn't like lots and lots of butter flavor with their cornbread? Got it nice and greased up, so at this point we're going to take it out, slap it in our nice greased up skillet. Now that we finally got the batter out of the food processor, we're going to go ahead and paint this over the bottom. And there was a comment on the website that was talking about how you should make use a smaller one than a bigger one, and I can see why, because this isn't a ton. I'm not sure how much this is even going to rise, but we're going to try it. So here's how it works. We take this, slap it in a 350 degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And we'll come back and see what it looks like at that point. So we're at 20 minutes, a little over it. Let's see what it look like. And there we have it. There's our cornbread. Looks pretty good. It's definitely got a lot of that same texture that you would expect, that kind of grainy texture. So we're going to let that cool for a little bit, and we'll come back and try it as soon as it cools down to a reasonable level. See you then. Alright, so let's cut into this. See how it is. So just cut it all the way across. It's a little bit squishier than most cornbread. Comes out pretty good. It's definitely got that eggy kind of a texture to it. If you can see, I mean, it's got good air pockets and stuff, but it's definitely, I don't know if you've made a lot of this low carb stuff that has a lot of eggs in it, you kind of get a feel for what it can do and what it generally tends to be like. So this is the way I cut mine, and I'm sure people will be commenting on how I need to, use different butter. But it's okay. So, nobody's perfect, right? Anyway, so I've got just some butter. Yes, in quotes. Hey, I'm putting butter on cornbread, and I'm going to use honey This is sugar-free Honey Tree's Imitation Honey. It's made with maltitol, and yeah, it tastes like honey. And the texture, I think I've done this before on the thing, but it looks like honey when it comes out. It has exactly the same texture. I don't know how they did it, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, we're going to try this. All the fake things. We'll see how it is. I have doubts because I definitely get that eggy feel just from the cutting into it. Oops. It's falling apart. It's not bad. Not bad. It definitely doesn't have that same grainy texture that that cornbread has. I wonder if that's why they wanted the flaxmeal, to try to give it some of that grainier mouthfeel. It's not bad. I mean, it certainly isn't as flavorful as cornbread, but then again, cornbread's pretty uniquely flavored. There isn't really a ton of egg flavor. It's definitely there. So if you can't stand eggs, probably not a thing for you. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm thinking my family probably won't like it all that much, just because it's too eggy and doesn't have the corn flavor. But anyway, definitely worth a shot. It's not hard to make. I will say this: I'm not a fan of putting things in a food processor and then having to clean them out. I'd much rather just stick it in a bowl, whip it all together, and then it's actually easier for me to get the stuff out of the bowl without having to clean the food processor. So I'd probably change that. But other than that, it's not too bad. I'll definitely make it again. But until next time, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.